Is your magic meter running low? Well, we've got a cure for you. Welcome to Disney Coast to Coast.
Hey folks, and welcome to Disney Coast to Coast, the ultimate unofficial Disney fan podcast. I'm Jeff DePauli, and in today's House of Mouse headlines, lots of news coming out of Walt Disney World about their annual pass program, some good, some not so good, plus a new movie announcement from Pixar. That and so much more, so let's get to it.
Hear the latest news from the Walt Disney Company in today's House of Mouse headlines.
On a previous House of Mouse headlines, you may remember me reporting that Soarin' Over California would be returning to Disney California Adventure for a limited time. Apparently, this decision has been so popular with guests that Disney has released an official statement about its extension. They said, due to guest popularity, the epic aerial adventure Soarin' Over California has been extended through August 31st. This virtual, immersive experience celebrates the beauty and wonder of the Golden State, from San Francisco's iconic Golden Gate Bridge to the crashing waves in Malibu. Just saying, Disney fans seem to like retired attractions, so it might not be such a bad idea to create an online ride archive. In addition, if you're an annual pass holder, you'll get an extra bonus. Between June 27th through July, annual pass holders will get an additional hour of Soarin' Over California after the park closes on Thursday nights. You may also remember from last week's House of Mouse headlines that I went on a bit of a rant about the decision to begin selling merchandise inside the Main Street Cinema in Disneyland Park. I'm happy to announce that these merchandise carts have since been removed from the space. Here is Disneyland's official statement about the Main Street Cinema. We continue to operate Main Street Cinema as a theater, and there have been no changes to film showings. We're looking at a variety of ways to drive interest in this beloved attraction. I find this to be very interesting. There was undoubtedly a pretty large outcry from the Disney fan community about the merch in the space, but is that the reason that it went away? It's been reported that the merchandise did indeed bring more people into the space, so was the fan outcry really the reason for merch leaving, or was this just the beginning of several tests Disneyland will be trying? Currently, they've simply added more benches into the space so that guests can visit the space more comfortably as part of their mission to get guests off of the streets and pathways to make a clearer route to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. I wouldn't be surprised if we continue to see more tests with this space. Honestly, a popcorn stand inside with other sorts of movie-going snacks could make sense if done tastefully and not just being sold off of push carts like you see traveling down the parade routes. I also wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing some more current Mickey Mouse shorts being played inside the theater. Honestly, I'd be interested in seeing a Mickey through the decades kind of shorts experience. It'll be interesting to see what ultimately ends up happening with this iconic space. Now that Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is about to be opened on June 24th without requiring a reservation, there's been some news to come out about the new processes being put into place. Buckle your seatbelts because there's a bunch of info here. For guests wishing to live out Star Wars adventures and access to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge beginning June 24th, Disneyland Resort may utilize a virtual queuing system as needed to help everyone have a great experience. Download the Disneyland app before arriving and check the app or signage the day of your visit to find out if you'll need to be part of a boarding group to visit Star Wars Galaxy's Edge that day. The boarding group will save you a virtual spot in line so you can enjoy other experiences while you wait to be notified of a time to enter. You may use the Disneyland app to request to be part of a boarding group after entering Disneyland Park if implemented that day. Simply link the theme park tickets of everyone in your party together on the app to request the same boarding group for your entire party. To see which boarding group is currently being admitted to the land, look on the app or digital signage in the park. If you enable push notifications on your mobile device, you'll be notified when it's time to enter the land. If not, continue to check the Disneyland app or digital signage in the park and enjoy other experiences while awaiting your boarding group. You have up to 2 hours to enter the land after your boarding group is called for admission, so there's no rush. For guests not using the Disneyland app, a boarding group may be obtained with a park admission ticket at select Disney FastPass service locations such as Haunted Mansion, Indiana Jones Adventure, Space Mountain, Splash Mountain, or near the Matterhorn bobsleds. Beginning June 24th, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge will no longer require a reservation to access the land, although reservations will be required for Savi's Workshop and Oga's Cantina, which have very limited capacities. Guests wishing to book a reservation for these experiences may do so on the same day of their visit, beginning at 7 a.m. with a valid credit card. Reservations for both experiences will allow access into Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at the time of the reservation, so it will not be necessary to join a boarding group to enter the land to participate in a reserved experience. Please visit disneyland.com/Salvia's Workshop and disneyland.com/Cantina for important details. To be completely honest, park attendance has been pretty low at the Disneyland Resort during these Galaxy's Edge reservation weeks. It seems like most folks have been scared away from the park due to the hype. It's been pretty nice. So I'm super curious to see how the reservation system going away affects the parks. Will people still be hesitant to face the potential crowds? We'll soon find out. Now let's head over to the other coast's Galaxy's Edge at the Walt Disney World Resort. The new land will be opening at Disney's Hollywood Studios on August 29th, but select annual pass holders will get access to the land before then. Disney will soon open a reservation system for Platinum, Platinum Plus, and Premier annual pass holders on a first-come, first-served basis to be among the first to enter the land. I'm sort of curious to see what kind of opening ceremony they throw for Galaxy's Edge at Disney's Hollywood Studios, considering they just had a pretty big one for the new land at Disneyland Park. I wonder if it'll be live streamed and what the scale of the event will be like. This really is a unique scenario. From what I can remember, opening two identical lands coast to coast within months of each other hasn't happened before. Now I have another bit of good news for Walt Disney World annual pass holders, and enjoy it because the news is about to go in the opposite direction. Disney has announced a Bring a Friend offer for AP holders. If you are currently a Walt Disney World Gold, Platinum, Platinum Plus, and Premier Pass holder, you're able to take advantage of this offer now through August 8th. This allows the AP holder to purchase a one-day park hopper ticket for just $89, which is a pretty significant savings. Here are a few rules to keep in mind. Annual pass holders can only purchase the Bring a Friend tickets in person at theme park ticket windows. The pass holder must be present with their valid, not blocked out, Walt Disney World annual pass and photo ID in order to purchase the Bring a Friend ticket. Pass holders may buy up to 6 tickets over the course of the promotion. Tickets must be used on the date of purchase. Friend and family tickets can be upgraded to theme park tickets that can be used at a later date or an annual pass of any kind. This must be done on the day of purchase, and the guest or the annual pass holder will have to pay the full price difference in person on the day of purchase. I just reported some added benefits of being an annual pass holder, but all of that comes with a price, and now an even higher price. Last week, the Walt Disney World Resort raised their annual pass prices a considerable amount in preparation for the opening of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. I won't go through all of the details, but just to give you an idea of the price hikes, the top-level Platinum Plus pass that was previously $849 for Florida residents is now $999. The same pass that was previously $994 for out-of-state guests is now $1,219. It's a pretty steep hike. It sounds like a good reason to move to Florida to get that discount if you're going frequently enough to purchase an AP. Below that, the Platinum Pass went from $749 to $899 for locals, and from $894 to $1119 for out-of-state guests. I think this price hike will definitely change some folks' plans as far as renewing is concerned, especially if you're talking about buying passes for an entire family. If you plan on parking your car overnight at a Walt Disney World Resort hotel, that's going to cost you a bit more as well now. For reservations made June 18th and thereafter for arrivals in 2020, the Disney Value Resorts will now cost $15 per night to park instead of the previous $13. Disney Moderate Resorts will be $20 per night instead of the previous $19, and Disney Deluxe and Deluxe Villa Resorts will be $25 per night instead of the previous $24. Sticking with the theme of rising costs at Walt Disney World, the Walt Disney World dining plan prices have also recently risen. But these price increases aren't too drastic. But if you do plan on getting the Disney dining plan, expect to pay a few more dollars per person per night. Now let's get back to some better Walt Disney World annual pass holder news. Beginning on July 5th, annual pass holders can buy a Summer Splash Pass, which gives you unlimited visits to Blizzard Beach and Typhoon Lagoon. This pass is valid for visits anytime from July 5th through September 7th and costs $69. Man, I wish Disneyland Resort had a water park. You can now purchase a ticket to the all-new Cruella's Halloween Hideaway at Tony's Town Square restaurant, the perfect place to mix and mingle with Cruella de Vil and be part of her circle of friends. Enjoy a fun, festive atmosphere with themed background music and decor and a great view of Town Square. Beginning at 9:30 p.m., this new and special experience will allow you to pop in and out at your leisure and indulge in tasty treats with a taste from the Witch's Cauldron, a kettle of gooey and creamy spinach dip with ciabatta crostini, assorted Halloween flatbreads, and more. In addition, there will be sweet treats such as chocolate-dipped strawberries, cheesecake and mini cannoli, canine crunchy cake, and mini DeVille brownies, and a variety of beverages, including beer and wine selections and more. You will also have access to a special reserved viewing area for the truly enchanting Mickey's Boo to You Halloween Parade at 11:15 p.m. Cruella's Halloween Hideaway is available for $99 per person every Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party event night at Magic Kingdom Park, and admission to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party is required to attend. Now let's hop over to some movie news where this past week Pixar announced a new project entitled Soul. This new original movie will hit theaters next summer on June 19th, 2020. Pixar Animation Studios will take you on a journey from the streets of New York City to the cosmic realms to discover the answers to life's most important questions. Ever wonder where your passion, your dreams, and your interests come from? What is it that makes you, you? The film will be directed by Pete Docter, who has previously directed Up and Inside Out, and of course is now the Chief Creative Officer at Pixar. I do wonder if this is the last film we'll see Pete Docter direct for a long time, considering he now has the pressures of being a Chief Creative Officer, and most likely this film was already in progress at the time he became CCO. Films directed by John Lasseter pretty much stopped happening after he took on that time-consuming role. I hope that's not the case, as I'm a fan of Docter's films, but it's a genuine concern. This upcoming Tuesday, June 25th, the Turner Classic Movies channel will be opening the Disney Vault once again for a lineup of Disney classics during Treasures from the Disney Vault. I've got to be completely honest, I've never even heard of these titles, so these are some deep cuts. TCM will be showing The Moon Spinners, Bone Bandit, The Little Horse Thieves, The Robber Kitten, The North Avenue Irregulars, Emil and the Detectives, and Never a Dull Moment. I'm sure that there are at least a couple of these titles you're not familiar with either, so set your DVR and make it a night of Disney education. A while back, I had reported that Disney Theatrical was putting together a stage musical production of the cult classic animated film Hercules for the Public Theater in New York City. This past week, we learned of some Disney-related casting. Jelani Aladdin from Broadway's Frozen will play the role of Hercules. James Monroe Iglehart, who originated and won the Tony Award for the role of Genie in Broadway's Aladdin, will be playing the role of Phil. But more interesting to me is the fact that Roger Bart, who was the singing voice of Hercules in the animated film, will be playing the role of Hades in this stage adaptation. Hercules will play a free run from August 31st through September 8th in New York City. Now let's get to this week's Twitter poll. On this past Wednesday's episode of Disney Coast to Coast, I interviewed an Imagineer who worked on the original Star Tours, so I asked you folks, which Star Tours do you prefer? The original or the Adventures Continue? 31% of you voted for the original, and a great majority of 69% voted for The Adventures Continue. Do you agree with the results of this Twitter poll? Make your voice heard by following Disney CTC on Twitter and taking part in the Twitter poll every week. That's DIZNEY CTC on Twitter. Also, if you're listening to this on the day of its release, it is June 23rd, 2019, marking the 30th anniversary of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. So, over on Twitter, all day long I'll be tweeting out fun facts about that movie, so head on over to Twitter and check out those fun facts throughout the day. And happy anniversary to Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Of course, all of our social media can be found over at DisneyCoastToCoast.com. This episode of Disney Coast to Coast was produced by Philip Elke, who has supported the show through Patreon. If you'd like to become a DCTC producer or gain other rewards, including early access to episodes, live stream Q&As, behind-the-scenes access, and more, information can be found at patreon.com/DisneyCTC. That's patreon.com/DIZNEYCTC. Other than that, folks, have a magical day. Bye!
Thanks for listening to Disney Coast to Coast. Have a magical day.
Disney Coast to Coast is produced and hosted by Jeff DePauli. Learn more about the podcast and become a supporter at DisneyCoastToCoast.com.